All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Sober Open Mic Night. Woo, 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 woo. Hey, if you're joining us online, welcome. If you're joining us from Facebook or YouTube or the Phoenix app or website, welcome to you. I hope you have a great time tonight. Hey, listen, for everyone in-house, we still have more people coming in, more people at the door. So I'm going to make the Scoochie announcement. If you can Scoochie together, who says Scoochie? If you can scooch together, if there's a middle seat in between you, kind of scooch together and create space for those still coming in because, well, we're going to have a full house tonight and it's going to be all kinds of fun. Before we get started, I'll tell you who I am. I am Ryan. I'm the pastor and executive director here at Free. If you want to know more about Free, you can jump on the website, freerecoverycommunity.com. We have services here on Saturday nights, 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. We are a community for addicts, loved ones of addicts, and spiritual refugees. People who've been kicked around by religion. They've been told they don't belong. We create space. Those are our people. If you're looking for meetings, there's all kinds of recovery meetings here. We have over 40 meetings that meet here throughout the week. Jump on the website or the app, Free Recovery Community. It's free to download. There's all kinds of meetings, and everything we do here is rooted in the mission of recovery. Our mission is breaking the silence of addiction because y'all know we have a silence problem. This problem gets covered over with shame, which is why we do events like this, to break the silence. This is live stream, so it's public. You have one job to do tonight. Your job is to have fun here. Your job is to root for the person on stage, cheer them on. There's always one thing we don't do in this community. If you're part of this community, you know what it is. On three, you can shout it out. 1, 2, 3. We don't do shame in this community. Speaking of shame, the opposite of shame, this is our last Sober Open Mic Night of 2025. We have partnered with the Phoenix now for 4 years. We do them every other month. I want you all to hear from Vince, but let me first say a word about our sponsors who make this event possible. Colorado Artists in Recovery, Darren Valdez in the house. Yeah, give it up. You'll hear more from him later, and we have the Hornbuckle Foundation. Is Sarah Hornbuckle here tonight? Sarah could not make it tonight, but let's hear it for the Hornbuckle Foundation. They do incredible work. Brother Vince, come on up here and tell them. Let's first tell them what's going to happen in December, because we're not going to leave everyone hanging for the holidays. Come up here, tell them who you are and what we're going to do together in December.
All right. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Full house. For the last open mic, man, I'm so excited for this event, and so grateful to see everybody here, and just want to say thank you to everybody who pre-registered. Thank you to everybody for checking in at the front. It is crucial for us to track attendance. Everything we do is free for the community. Hundreds of events every month, and that wouldn't be possible if we weren't capturing the impact. We're funded by grants, we're funded by donations, and for us to be able to show that is critical to keep our programming for free for the people who need it. So thank you to everybody who checked in at the front. So to Ryan's point, we've got the return of our annual HaHa Holidays, a sober comedy special coming on Thursday, December 11th. Okay, we've got some heavy-hitting local comedians who are going to be here. We're going to have Mama's Empanadas food truck out front at 5:30 p.m. Show starts at 7. Of course, we've got the Wagon Cafe that is open. Free is open all day, so you can get here as early as you would like. But we're going to have food, some warm, tasty, festive beverages from Wagon, and then we're going to share some laughs. Ugly sweater, just the whole nine. It's going to be a blast. And I would recommend, there are flyers up front. There's a QR code. I would recommend RSVPing because this place gets packed over capacity. We have overflow in the Wagon Cafe where we live stream the event for people to still watch it. It's also going to be live streamed across the nation, a sober live stream comedy special. So really excited for that. But again, flyers up front, take one when you leave. For now, let's get to the Sober Open Mic Night. And if a quick word about the Phoenix, if you're new to the Phoenix, never heard of the Phoenix, they were a big role, or they played a big role in my sobriety. I just hit 9 years the other day, and they played a critical piece in helping me build a new foundation. The biggest thing I got at the Phoenix was the sense of belonging that I felt. That for years I hadn't felt like I belonged. And the other thing I got from the Phoenix was realizing that I could have fun in sobriety. I had missed it for years in my early recovery, in my early sobriety. I just wasn't having fun. I didn't feel like I was living my life. And when I found the Phoenix, that really all changed. And that was about 9 years ago, and I haven't left. So we have, at least a dozen events each day, 7 days a week from sunup to sundown. It's all on the new Form app. They're all free, from fitness to music to outdoor activities. It's all ways to bring people together to build sober connection. But we really couldn't do it without our partners. We're just one tool, right? There's so many incredible resources like Free Recovery Community, Colorado Artists in Recovery, the Hornbuckle Foundation. We're blessed in Denver and in Colorado to have so many amazing resources out there. So I think that's it from me. I'm gonna pass it off to a good friend who happens to have the same last name. We often argue over who's is spelled correctly. Oh, his mic's not on.
Hello.
Hughesmans. Yeah, very interesting. But welcome, Joe. He's going to take away the show, and thank you all.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Thanks, Vince. Give it up for Vince. Thank you all for coming out tonight. We got a great lineup again. We got about 35 performers. This will run till about 2 o'clock in the morning. So doors are locked. You're bolted in. Nobody's going anywhere. My goal with comedy is to make sure that people pee their pants. So I do that by forcing them to stay longer than they can hold it. We got a great lineup, though. A lot of different performers. We got some poetry. We got some comedians. We got some great music coming on. We got some sponsors. It's going to be a great night. How does that sound, everybody? All right. And the way this is going to work is everybody gets 6 minutes. At 5 minutes, you're going to see a flashing light from the back of the stage. This is for performers. At 5 minutes, you're going to see a flashing light from the back of the room. That means you have 1 minute left. At 6 minutes, they're going to start to dim the stage lights. After 7 minutes, they dim the lights more. They start to turn your mic up and down. After 8 minutes, it goes completely black up here. You don't notice it. You make a fool of yourself. It's pretty crazy, but I know this from experience. Anyway, but yeah, so let's kick this off. A little bit about me. Something I get told a lot is that I have an addictive personality. Does that resonate with anybody out there tonight? Yeah, I love when people tell me I have an addictive personality. That's really just a nice way of saying that the shit that I enjoy doing is self-destructive. Like I used to be a drug addict. I know, I look more like a guy that drives a PT Cruiser. I look like I go to PTA meetings to try to bully them into serving 2% instead of whole milk. I look like I have HOA mandates memorized. The problem is that I always looked like this. Do you know how hard it was to be a drug addict when you look like this? Seriously, like even back in the day, my friends would go to pass me the pipe and they'd be like, "Are you sure you're not a cop?" That's affirmative. Just pass me the pipe, civilian. And I couldn't even buy drugs from people that I didn't know because I looked like this. Like, I knew where the crack houses were, but I wouldn't know what to do with them. You know, like, do I just knock on the door like I'm dropping off a casserole for a new neighbor? Yeah. Is this where they sell the narcotics? Just one crack rock, please. Yeah. Even if they did answer, it was either a slammed door or a gun in the face, which honestly is the correct response for somebody that looks like he's there to tell you about the Lord. Yeah, for most of my 20s, I got addicted to crack. And if you don't know smoking crack, I'm sure a lot of you know this. Smoking crack is basically smoking cocaine. In the 70s, they called it freebasing. In the 80s, they called it crack. So I fell for the rebranding. But come on, if they really wanted it to fail, why didn't they just call it New Coke? And it would have died out in a few months, right? Fortunately, I never got into that Crystal Pepsi, though, because that shit, that's the worst. You know, nobody chooses addiction, right? Nobody looks at that first line of cocaine and thinks to themselves, sweet, this is going to fuck up my whole life. You know, it's not like you come to this fork in the road where one sign says full life's potential, and you're like, huh, what's down this way? Incarceration, insurmountable debt? Yeah, I want those things. You know, how it started for me was I liked going to parties, but alcohol didn't work on me like it did for other people. Like I skipped over the confident, funny part and went right from awkward weirdo to awkward weirdo that threw up on the dog. And that'll really ruin the party, let me tell you. You know what a dog does when it gets wet, right? He shakes it off, right? I like doing that joke at dinner shows. But when I was 16, somebody gave me a line of cocaine, and that was a game changer. Suddenly, I was cool, I was funny. Even the dog let me pet it again. But smoking crack was next level. Like those PSAs in the 80s, they weren't joking. Y'all remember those PSAs? Anybody back from the 80s? Those commercials they had on, it's like, hey kids, there's a new drug out there. It gets you higher, faster, it's easier to get, it's cheaper, don't do it. It's like that's marketing 101, right? But I do think crack is an untapped source of unlimited potential. I mean, seriously, if you want to see creative collaboration at its finest, just find a group of crackheads that smoked their last hit and are trying to find more. I mean, NASA could show up right there and say, hey, guys, there's an 8-ball on Mars if you could get it. And they'd be like, oh, maybe we can modify that old Ford Pinto in the barn. All we got to do is fill up the gas tank and get rear-ended. That's a joke for the older crowd. But when I got off drugs, I got a job at a tech company. That was a huge transition for me. Not a lot of transferable skills from crackhead to tech. But I struggled with the things they would say in meetings. They'd say things like, circle back. And I'm like, is that when I drive around the block so I don't look suspicious in front of the dealer's house? Or they say, Joe, that's baked in. Baked in, is that when I'm too high to go outside? One time my boss comes up to me and says, Joe, I'm going to need you to check in with our key vendor and make sure that they have an adequate supply of premium product in the pipe to keep up with the high demand. It's like, do I need to use a burner phone for that? He's like, yeah, we'll circle back to that, Joe. Something else about working in tech or in corporate America is these silly little get-to-know-you things they would do. They call them icebreakers. Play these games like Two Truths and a Lie. And I always hated that because I didn't know what to say when it was my turn. It's like, well, let's see. I've got 3 DWIs. I had my car window shot out while driving in South Minneapolis. And I graduated high school at the top of my class. That's right, that last one was a lie. I didn't graduate. I do have 3 DWIs. It's not something I'm proud of. I'm sure it's not a record breaker in this room. I don't know. No judgment. But I did get tired back in the day when people would ask me this question in this condescending voice. They'd be like, Joe, how could you get a DWI? Because I was drunk. I mean, I assure you, I would never drive drunk sober. I'm not stupid. People do all kinds of dumb shit when they're drunk, though, right? Like hitting on your best friend's mom, dancing on a table at Olive Garden, or choosing Bohemian Rhapsody for your karaoke song. But the thing that bugs me more than anything else as an ex-crack addict is when people compare random things to crack. You know what I'm talking about. Oh my God, this caramel corn is like crack. Wow, who made these cookies? They're like crack. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you've never smoked crack before. Anybody ever work a double shift to buy a box of Thin Mints? Raise your hand if you've pawned Grandpa's antique pocket watch for some double stuffed Oreos. And I will bet my life that nobody has ever sucked a dick for pecan sandies. I don't care how good your grandma's recipe is. That's not happening, right? All right, that's all I'm going to say tonight. Are you ready for your next performer? I am really actually very excited to see this next performer. I produce a show, if you don't know, called Second Chance Comedy, where we have sober comedians themed around mental health and addiction. We do shows all over. I had her on a while back, and I got to get her back on again. She's a comedian. Give it up for Catherine Clancy.
How we doing? Keep it going for Joe. I'm gonna move this over. Are there any parents in the audience? Okay. I just want to let you guys know that if you have children, I was a leash child, and then I became an alcoholic. So, coincidence? I think not. You know? Sorry, I literally cannot see with my glasses. But no, I'm a recovering alcoholic. My sobriety date is April 7th, 2017. Thank you. I spent like a lot of time wondering why I became an alcoholic. It used to really bug me. Like, it's in my family history. I have like some genetics. I was a middle child. Maybe that affected me. I was the only girl. That was tough. But most notably, when I was 5 years old, the Santa Claus at the mall asked me and my bowl cut if I had been a good boy for Christmas. And I said yes. Also, in middle school, from the ages of 12 to 14, I had one boob. And that was kind of tough, you know? Upon developing a second breast, almost immediately, I started drinking. So psychoanalyze that, okay? Riddle me that. But middle school was also hard. I always felt like really awkward in my body. Like, when you're a tall girl in middle school and none of the guys have gone through puberty yet, you feel gigantic. Like, I felt like Nikola Jokic just walking through the halls of middle school, waving at the tiny Italian girls like, hello down there. I think that really affected me. I saw a TikTok and it asked, what's a bender for sober people? And I was like, bitch, it wasn't the drugs. I'm fucking crazy. Okay? I've done a lot of things in sobriety that I wish I could blame on being drunk. I dated my improv teacher. He was 20 years older than me. He still had a roommate. and he did improv. So enough said there, you know. I was horribly close to becoming a spiritual influencer. So I was a danger to myself and others. I don't know, I just feel like spiritual influencers, like, offline, their life's not actually going good. Because they say that those that can't do make TikToks with white dreadlocks. I think that's true. I was also baptized Mormon a week out of rehab, which just goes to show that just because you're sober doesn't mean you're making good decisions. And no shade to the Mormons, but that was the only time in my life where I joined a cult. Yeah. Sorry, I have to read off my phone. These are new jokes. Thanks for bearing with me. There's a couple stereotypes that you can fall into, I think, when you're like in early recovery in Colorado. Number one, you're gonna become a climber. And I get it, it's like a healthy activity, it's like good community. I just think like climbers kind of annoy me because I feel like they like weren't good at sports when they were younger and now they're like in their jock phase. They like wear their carabiners on their pants. It's like, what's up? I think wearing climbing shoes into a grocery store is like the equivalent of the kid in middle school who would flirt with you by like crossing you up in the hallway. Just like, that's what I see when I see you walking around with your carabiners. Also, climbers are like grandparents. You don't want to listen to their stories, and their hands make everyone feel weird. Please don't show me your calluses. I don't want to see that. 2, another stereotype you can fall into, you start getting a lot of tattoos. Who here has gotten a tattoo in the last week? Is it on your rib cage? Okay, you're safe. I do think getting the Serenity Prayer tattooed on your rib cage in the first couple months of sobriety, it's a rite of passage, okay? I'm not even gonna knock it, okay? Everyone has to do it for the experience. But nothing says, I'm doing so good, like a giant eagle tattooed across your chest. I'm not gonna do that one. Another stereotype you can fall into is like you decide that you're gonna be a life coach. You're either gonna start a sober living, you're gonna go to Naropa, or you're gonna become like a spiritual influencer. Early warning signs include thinking it's a good idea to start a podcast. Just shut it down right there. I think that you should do it. I get it, like you're feeling good, you wanna help other people feel good. And I do think the best advice comes from lived experience, but just like go live your experience first, you know? Because imagine if you went into surgery and you get in there and your surgeon, whose life, you know, your life is in their hands, and you find out that he is 2 months sober off cocaine. I don't think you're gonna feel too good about that. How much time do I have? 1 minute. Okay. I love my spiritual community, but sometimes I look around and I think these are the most random collection of people that I've ever fucking seen in my life. You ever like invite a normie to your sober hangout and it's like, okay, this is Heather, she's 17. This is Rebecca. She once got arrested for buying too many drugs off the dark web, and now she's a nanny. This is Mark. I'm younger than his adult children. And Jake used to do meth. Welcome to game night. Who's ready to play charades? people say don't do geographic moves like in sobriety, like it's not gonna make you feel better, but I can't tell if the lights are gonna dim on me. I'm gonna finish this joke. But I grew up in Philadelphia. And in Philadelphia, go Birds. All right, I'm not gonna do this joke, but thank you so much. This is so fun. I can't get it in. Thank you.
Keep it going for Catherine Clancy. You know, she talks about tattoos. That is one thing. I don't have any tattoos, but one thing that I never understood is like all these people that are in recovery that are just covered with tattoos. Like I see a tattoo across your back, I think 8-ball. Like how did you, like I wouldn't even buy a new winter coat and I lived in Minnesota. You know, like drugs was the only thing I spent my money on. So I don't know where you got the money to get the tattoos, but anyway, let's keep this going. You ready for some music? All right, we got an acoustic guitar performer coming up, P. Derek Moore, coming to the stage.
Coming through the speakers. So my name is Derek. I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic. As of today, I have been sober for 500 days. At one point in my life, I was actually 10 years abstinent, had not worked a single step, and I was a drunk so dry you could light me on fire with a smoldering glance, seriously. In that process, suffering from utterly untreated alcoholism, and to me, personally, for my recovery, alcoholism and addiction are synonymous. But suffering from my disease, I burned down the most precious romantic relationship I ever had. And this is actually a poem about that person. She'll haunt me on my deathbed, the way she haunts my every breath, the way her loss occurred as death the day our music died. She haunts my stares at redheads, her name a never answered prayer. I bear her specter everywhere in memory of West Philly air. Madness and regressions, nightmares and obsessions, she haunts them like she'll haunt me on my deathbed. She haunts my memories of the time I swung with laughter by trapeze. She haunts my every silent scream and makes my heartstrings gently weep. She makes the wind cry merry and haunts the mirror where I stare with desperate, empty-eyed despair. She haunts my kinky hair. I'm panting like a rabbit, trembling, trapped within a snare. Hopelessly, she'll haunt me on my deathbed. She binds my hemoglobin with the hunger of monoxide and leaves my tissues breathless, flushed, yet desperate for her presence, with my synapses burning like earthquakes framed by yearning. Her name I know I'll whisper on my deathbed. She haunts me wearing denim jackets when I jet plane west, or when I yearn for bedtime stories or burn for Cleeg kisses. Should I live to 64, she will surely lock the door. She'll neither need nor feed me, never to receive me. She haunts me with Sargasso eyes, my mind's eye filled with elven smiles. She haunts the lonely miles I travel with goodbye. She haunts me from the floorboards where she fucking gave me roadhead. She haunts me bound by handcuffs to the headboard of her bed. She haunts me quoting Shakespeare with endocrine precision. She haunts me with sheer brilliance and righteous indignation. She haunts me with compassion and unrequited passion. And when I die, she'll haunt me on my deathbed. So I'm going to do a song. I was going to do a poem and a song. And before I do that, I want to tell you all that the Denver 5th Tradition Meeting of AA is tomorrow night at 700 South Franklin Street at 7 p.m. and will feature Paula R. with 37 years of experience, strength, and hope. That meeting's a trip. You should come. The reason I thought of it, though, is I was at a meeting a while back, that same meeting, and someone talked about praying for love and abundance. And I thought that was a great plan because he got money and like a girlfriend. So I prayed for romance and finance. And instead what I got actually was a much greater gift, a far greater gift. When I was in high school, my grandparents told me that I actually had a half-sister. And she didn't know I existed. And about a month ago, I ran across her son on the internet. And now I have my sister. Which, you know, is love and abundance, just not romance and finance as I was hoping for. But this is a song I wrote about our father a long time ago. This is called Father Mine. Father mine, I know you lived your life with blinders on, 'cause one of those days back then you got yours. But at your wake you left a small boy. Then I understood the how, but I still don't know why you left me, Father mine. Father mine. Father mine, my mirror reflects your face every day. Makes me wish I knew about you. Am I going through things you went through? The few things Mama says of you makes me think that you were foolish too, Father mine. Father mine. Father mine. I met a woman I really like. When I'm around her, I'm nervous. I don't know what to say to her. And you're not around to tell me, but you must have known since you made me Father mine. Father mine. Father mine. I'd like to thank you for the gift of life, even if that's all you gave me. If you weren't present to claim me, because the void you left behind makes me want to live life with all my might, Father mine. Father mine. Thanks.
Keep it going for Derek Moore. All right, we are ready for our, I guess, first and only sponsor here that's here tonight. Darren Valdez coming to the stage from the CARE organization.
Talking to this one. Hello, everybody. You guys, thank you all for being here tonight. I'm Darren with Colorado Artists in Recovery. Thank you. It's our honor to sponsor this beautiful event. It's amazing to see the seats packed. The truth is in recovery, it is really hard to get up here, right? To let people see us and try playing something and let you see who we truly are. You'll see so many performers bearing their souls tonight. And that's what recovery is all about, being the true self, right? And in creative expression, you know, you'll get it to a point in recovery where you'll get your sponsor, you'll get your meetings, you'll get your family relationships back on track, and then you'll get to the point where you're like, oh, what's next? And the truth is every single one of you has some gift inside you, right? And whether that be poetry or writing or art or music, these are all things that you get to do now. At Colorado Artist Recovery, we just offer these spaces for you to explore what that is for you. We have poetry, improv, art, music, all these different things. So please check out our table, coloradoartsandrecovery.org. These are all free experiences, and it's for you to shine. And thank you for being here to support all the people that are terrified right now to get up here and get in front of you and let you see who they truly are. Thank you all for being here tonight.
There we go. All right. Yeah, keep it going for Darren Valdez one more time. You know, what he said at the beginning there reminded me of, like, when I was deep in my addiction days. Like, I felt like I was kind of this ghost living outside of society. Like, when I would go to get gas, I would try to sneak in and get gas without anybody seeing me. Does anybody remember that? Like, where you just kind of felt like you were just kind of on the outside looking into this world? So it reminded me of what you said there at the beginning. But anyway, all right. You ready for some more comedy? Oh my gosh, I'm really dropping the ball here. Andy Lopez. Sorry about that.
Thanks for forgetting my name, bro. Jesus Christ. I have to follow up Darren. That was the most sincere shit I've ever heard, dude. That was sick, dude. I love Darren. Have you guys ever had persistent diarrhea fuck up your day? That's not even a part of my set, dude. I'm just in fucking pain right now. It's fucking... Woo! Okay. You guys, I'm coming up on 7 years of sobriety. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Being sober, I vape, right? And it's just not the same as cigarettes, you guys. It's not. Right? We can all agree. Like, you can't put a vape out on a kid. Doesn't work. See, this generation is soft, okay? You're gonna learn a little something tonight. Yeah, kids are cool though. They're pretty tight. Are there any kids in here, by the way? Earmuffs. All right. Yeah, everyone thinks like babysitting is wholesome. And you guys, it's really dangerous. Like, when will those babysitters get off those kids? Change the name. Call it baby guardian, right? Baby bouncer, right? Sick. I'm preparing for a show, this Saturday, you guys. If you're free, we're having a show in Longmont. It's a sober comedy show. We're raising money for nonprofits, so you can check it out at the care desk over here, okay? I miss being a kid, though. Me and my friend Devin, we got in all types of shit in the neighborhood. We grew up in LA, so we found fun, right? So one day we just decided to start a dragon fund, right? Because we were gonna buy our own fucking dragon, okay? And we put aside our lunch money every day for the whole school year, right? And we lost so much weight, you guys. Our moms thought we had a tapeworm or something. But so we raised $300, right, for this dragon, and we were so stoked because like he was gonna be silver, right? And he was gonna breathe fire, and we were gonna ride that shit, right? And then all of a sudden one day, like, the box with the Dragon Fund money just disappears, right? And we go to our parents and we're like, hey, like, our Dragon Fund money, like, got stolen. And they're like, sure, okay. Yeah, your Dragon Fund money got stolen. Okay. Come to find out, years later, Devin's sister's older brother stole the money to pay for an abortion. Yeah, true story. And in retrospect, that was a good investment because we would have been uncles at 9 years old. So, and you know, he kind of murdered the situation, depending on your political views, right? He killed it. Holy shit. You guys, I never met my biological dad. He died from a cocaine overdose. And whenever I say that to people, they, you know, come out with the empathetic voice and they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that." And I'm like, why? It's fucking sick, dude. He was having the time of his life, bro. Like, you guys' dads are like wearing New Balances, golfing, like believing AI on Facebook, and like, my dad was like, he's currently haunting dive bars, so it's pretty tight. No, yeah, growing up without a dad was pretty tough, and that's why I'm the way I am. But yeah, being sober is interesting because, you know, I've done a lot of opioids, right? And the one good thing about fentanyl, I know fuck fentanyl, but where's that shirt? I saw that shirt. At least you didn't shit for a month, though, right? It's the cure to diarrhea, you guys. I need some. Shit. Yeah, have you guys ever met those sober guys that do mushrooms? You know what I'm talking about? They're like, I did it with a shaman. It's spiritual. It's spiritual. Okay, if your shaman is named Samantha and she drives a Subaru Outback, you're just a fucking junkie. What are we doing here? It's a natural drug. So is heroin. It comes from poppies. It's great. It works. It works if you work it. Dude, when I was high, like, road rage was my cardio, dude. I would brake check the fuck out of motherfuckers. If you looked at me wrong, dude, shit. And I didn't care if I got shot, right? I didn't care if I got in an altercation or anything. Like, I had tried to kill myself 3 times in that last year. If I can't kill me, you can't kill me. I need to write a clean joke. I have a lot of anxiety. Do you guys have anxiety? Yeah? Hell yeah, dude. I have the type of anxiety where I like put Rogaine in my hair and go to pee, forgetting to wash my hands. And then I'm terrified for the rest of the month I'm gonna get Chewbacca dick. It's fucked up, dude. It's a hairy penis. Have you guys seen these ice commercials on cable, dude? It's fucking crazy. $50,000 sign-on bonus, right? I'm just saying, daddy needs a house. I know my last name's Lopez, but fuck. A house with granite countertops. Like, I think you get bonuses per arrest, right? So I'm just saying, do it for 1 year, round up 50 dudes. They're probably bad dudes, right? I'll just go to like a dive bar or something, and I'll just like get a house, right? The fuck? What the fuck is right? Still working on that one. All right, I got one more real quick. I was at a party with some friends, and there was like some normies, some drug addicts that are sober now, whatever. And one of my friend's friends is conservative, right? So we're just sitting around. They're starting to clean up after dinner, and then he tells, not asks, tells his girlfriend to go help them clean, right? Disgusting. Like I've never seen anything like that. Like I expect my girlfriend to just do it, and if she doesn't, she gets the paddle. You guys don't worry. She likes the paddle. She doesn't clean on purpose. It's fine. All right, guys, that's all I got. I'm Andy Lopez. Thank you.
Keep it going for Andy Lopez. All right, let's keep this thing going. Before we get to that, just sort of quick reminder, it is 6 minutes. Watch for that light. You got 1 minute after that. We got to get through 400 or 500 more performers, so please don't go over your time. But yeah, when you see that light, you got a minute left, and after 6 minutes, you're going to get cut off. So, all right, you ready for some more music? You thought I was going to sing, didn't you? Zenny, is there a Zenny out here? All right.
Okay. It hurts so bad to say goodbye, but I keep on asking myself just why it had to end this crazy way. Even though you tell me maybe someday we'll be together forever, like you said, reminiscing by myself all alone in bed. Why, all I can do is cry. Please believe me, I loved him so. But peep this, he didn't love me, no. Now I've done everything and all I can to prove to him I'd be down for my man. I loved him so much I could hardly speak. He's the only one whose love made me weak. But I guess it's time for me to say goodbye without asking questions or wondering why. Now you heard it from me, sad and sweet. I used to think you were the only one who could see me off of my feet. But I guess it's better now that I know the reason why you left me was to go and be a little hoe. But you know it's fucked up. Your homies treat me better than you do. I don't know why you waste your breath, though you hardly do. To say I love you, it's all a lie. I know you only see it to keep tears from my eyes. Or maybe it could be because you don't want me doing what I do for any other guy. But just keep doing what you're doing. Guaranteed in the end I'll be the one laughing at you. I'll be blinging and singing, rhyming and shining, looking at you standing on the sideline while I'm being straight up getting mine.
Keep it going for Zenny. All right, I think we got some poetry coming up next. Kai. All right.
Yeah, I know, I'm short. First poem is about free. First poem is about free. A place that's free. In between the vast violent hurricane, the winds that create roller coaster of racing thoughts, I always find peace within the eye, the storm that this trauma has brought. It starts with a place. That every white brick, like pages in the Bible, holds a story, a lesson, a tale, and together they create something stronger than nails. A sanctuary for souls to heal, a place where no one is expected to kneel. A community where no shame and pure love is the only way in. A community that is ever forgiving, where people will show you a life always worth living. No matter the mistake, big or small, they will help you get up from any fall. Here we know there are many paths of recovery one can take, so just pick one for God's sake. For this is a place where your higher power can take a break. Let our sermons take its place. So weary soul, keep your head up. Walk in without dismay, because here no soul is ever turned away. I dare you to walk through our doors. You'll be greeted by many of friends, and many you may find you'll keep to the very end. So let the love of free fill your heart, because once you do, you'll always be a part. This one doesn't have a title. They come in quiet shadows or stormlight, in 2 a.m. silence, when the world forgets your name, bearing nothing but presence, no perfect words, no stitched together prayers, just a breath. And the sacred defiance of not looking away, they show up in hospital chairs with vending machine coffee, cracked styrofoam in one hand, your trembling story in the other, sitting for hours with the ghosts you no longer name. They don't flinch when you talk about dying, they just listen. As if your pain was a cathedral, they are born to kneel in it. They show up at meetings in basement rooms where coffee burns and folding chairs creak like old bones, where shaking hands reach out for tokens and truth, and the air is thick with broken yesterdays. Then they nod when your voice quivers. They clap when your story wavers towards light. They've been there. In alleyways with needles, in motel rooms with bottles, and a mirror glare regret, and then they come back and tell you that you can do it too. They showed up at funerals in black or blue jeans or army greens, carrying the weight of names etched on granite, whispering through tears, you mattered, even now, especially now. They hold the ones who collapse in grief like a flood. No damning, no fixing, just a soft miracle of staying. They show up for love, not the easy kind that glitters in Hallmark air, but the kind that walks besides rage, that waits through slammed doors, that learns to say I'm sorry like a mantra carved in flesh. They show up when you're manic and your thoughts outpace your mouth, when you haven't slept in 5 days and your heart is a firecracker, not to silence you, but to hold the match without burning. They show up when you're numb, when you're brushing your teeth feels like a war, when shower hurts like confessions, when you hide under covers because the world feels like glass. They leave soup on your porch, checked once again, and then again, and again. Not because you respond, but because love doesn't require permission to be loyal. They show up for spirit and not in religion and robes or thrones, but the messy, aching search for the divine in graffiti and sunsets and songs that make you cry. At red lights, they don't preach. They sit in silence with your questions. With fury at God, they pass incense anyway. They are the friend who holds your hair when you're sick, the lover who learns your triggers like a map, the mother who never gave up when she had to let go, the stranger who leaves a note on your windshield that says, "You're still needed, don't disappear." They don't have capes, they are tired, often hurting. They break too. But they lace up their grief like boots and walk into other people's pain because once someone did that for them. So when you feel like the air is too heavy, like your chest can't expand, like the world is made of sharp edges, look around. One of them is nearby. To believe when belief has left the room, and in those moments with no spotlight, no stage, just heartbeat besides heartbeat, that's when healing walks in.
Keep it going for Kai. How about some more comedy? All right, let's give it up for the hilarious Austin Langley.
That's your host, Joe Huseman, everybody. Oh, how about that? Before I came up here, he said I look like the mayor of Circle K. I don't appreciate how you giggled at that one. I'll get into it. I'm a recovering alcoholic. Yeah, you guys don't believe me. You guys are looking at me like I know what it's like to overdose at the Renaissance Fair. Which, by the way, overdosing at the Renaissance Fair would be a wild place to do it. They'd be like, bring in the horse and carriage. Does anyone have a Narcan spell? That's the end of that joke. Narcan spell. The first time I was arrested, I was 13 years old. Anyone else? Anyone else? Blacked out drunk at a high school football game. I remember one of my only responses to the police officers were, "Good thing my mom takes it easy on me." And she did not. She roasted my ass in front of that cop for fucking 15 minutes. I claimed my first DUI at the age of 16. Anyone else? 8 in the morning. On my way to a job interview at McDonald's. I still have yet to decide what was worse for my life, the DUI that I got or if I would have got that job at McDonald's. I once got a breaking and entering charge. I just walked into a random lady's house while blacked out drunk. I remember reading in the police report when we asked Mr. Langley why he was there, in parentheses, it just said, "I was told there was a party here." They're like, "Yeah, that party's fucking going to jail, buddy. Going to jail." But it's been over 10 years since I've had a drop of booze. Over 10 years since I've had a drop of booze. Thank you. Thank you. When I stopped drinking, I got addicted to riding my bicycle, and I just lost 40 pounds within the first 2 months. My friends didn't put it past me that I went from booze to just hardcore heroin. I don't know much about heroin, but I think hardcore is the worst kind. Anybody? Check? But that leads me to what I'm doing today, just seeking approval from strangers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys, we can get into it. I saw music this evening. I saw music. That reminded me of a impression I've been working on lately. This is an impression of Bob Dylan banging. All right, this is Bob Dylan having sex. It just goes like this. Whoa, oh hey, whoa, oh how does it feel? That was the long version, you guys. Does it feel like you're on your own? You haven't given me any direction at all. I'm knock. No, I won't do it anymore. I won't do anymore. Sobriety does come with like some weird hobbies. I don't know what I was doing after I stopped drinking. Like there was one point where I was just going to the park, finding people doing live paintings of the landscape, and I would just stand in the distance for long periods of time, hoping to get some attention. Just praying. Is there any questions at this point in time? Any questions at this point in time? Oh, I got a whole video of myself, my name. Dang, I'm killing it. Also, like, sobriety has its sad points too. Like, you find them. Like, there was one point where I was crying in front of strangers while attempting to host bingo because that's where my life's at. It was Father's Day and my dad was dead. And I'd just be like, give it up for all the dads in the audience. B9. The tumors were not benign. Is anybody getting close to bingo? B9. All right, you guys have been absolutely amazing. I've been Austin Langley. Keep it going. Support live art.
Keep it going for Austin Langley. How about some more music? What do you say? We have someone named Michael who's going to play some violin. All right, come on up.
Yeah, I'll just say something really quick. Hey, my name is Michael. That light is really bright. Let's see. I'm 13 days sober right now. So 2 weeks ago, I was sitting in an alley downtown with a needle in my arm. 2 months before that, I was in prison. So I'm just really grateful to be here. You know, all I've ever wanted to do is play music, and my addiction kind of stole that from me. So I'm gonna try and scratch some stuff out on the fiddle, and it's just maybe not gonna sound the greatest, but I'm gonna do it anyway, so deal with it. Let's see. Let's see. All right.
Keep it going for Michael. Nicely done, sir. All right, we got some more poetry coming up next. Get really loud and welcome to the stage, Ryan Flanagan.
Swimming in a tar pit. Can't help it. Swimming in a tar pit and blowing bubbles to watch the they watching me of skeletons of the brontosaurus and mammoths below. Once were, aren't now, but how did they sink and I swim? Swimming in a tar pit like the heat doesn't bother. Skin with blisters is my only sin. I promise to stop. I swear I won't go, but where does this want come from if not from me? Swimming in a tar pit and watching the clouds and watching those on the edges, never having jumped in, wondering why I can't stop swimming in a tar pit. I wish I could tell them. Some swim with me, less than before. They laugh and dive and dive and die, and each time the stain sticks to skin a little more. Getting out, there's no getting out because it's always on me. Sometimes I try and jump in a chemical bath, a bubblicious sense wafting downwind like banana berry bakery concoctions, and then I dive in from one to another. I jump from one to another again and again, and I have yet to understand why I keep swimming in a tar pit. If someone could tell me, perhaps I could stop like I want to, but until then, dive in. I pray at the altar of jazz poetry, My psalms were written by Ginsberg, Hughes, Dickinson, and Whitman. I kneel in divine homage of acrylic, oil, watercolor, impressionistic, cubist forms of people and times I will never meet or know, but make bed in my soul all the same as the god of printed prose, leaping from parchment scrolls to build monuments to the courage of silent trauma, to the loss of nap time and daydream tree climbs, to the grace under fired pages of lost memories of midnight philosophic rambles, to the desire to fall in love with every passing sidewalk stranger for a full second of eternity each, to hoping for the divine connection to return like a cosmic game of telephone tag of time. Will the author of my life please present the byline? My God whispers in jazz, brass, riffs, lilt, stops, pause, because a leaf just fell to the earth. Speak to it. Say it's returning to the place that birthed all growth. My God sees no disjointed humanity, for my God is in the melody of a paintbrush and the vibrant hue of a song and the divine connection of humanity as we wriggle like cosmic worms caught in the tidal pool of time. Pause and drink of thine drum solo. Pause and feast on coffee chatter of friends waiting in memory. Pause and unplug violent calendars of workplace brainstorms and strip the slowed metronome of the hour to reveal back-to-back water cooler breaks that will never end. These glorious strangers bound to a singular purpose. Live, survive, live, survive, live, survive. When a smile is given, waters fall like solar planes of rainbow waves, like molten ice of horses formed of lilac petals, galloping free from traffic jam, gaslighting, free from the pain that tattoos our souls to forever remind us we're no longer young, free from anything that isn't, stargazing in the nude, fly into insanity. We're already bonkers, flying to happenstance, the clock is a lie, fly to flick a switch and turn off the moon, the darkness no longer scares us. When I dance, no one is watching. When I cry, the world gives a standing ovation. When I rage to empty yogurt cups, I wonder how my time has been spent. I paid 40 hours a week, year to year to minute to second, praying to a god of mechanical means with the clock talk of make, when the truth is, my heart thumps to a different tidal wave. Wash me from my sins of caring about what others think of me. Wash me from my sins of thinking the purpose of art is money or fame. Wash me from my sins of placing myself above anyone. Wash me from my sins of placing myself below anyone. Wash me from my sins of fearing the grave, whose only purpose is to remind me that love for those who fish grins for my dreariest days is all that is holy, and that I am all that is holy, and that every stranger or friend is all that is holy, and that a kiss from someone I will never see again is all that is holy, and that God is the breath, and that God is the howl, and that God is the frothing up of thunder's foamed waves every time someone plants a poem in the air. God, I offer my pen to thee so that the pain so felt by me will be a balm for my fellows, and that they may do the same, and that they may let every tear and smile catch in the page, brush, or woodwind eighth note to play the tune of the divine connection of humanity. Thank you. I appreciate that. I recently released a poetry album. It's called To Plant a Poem. It's on Bandcamp. If you are interested, let me know, and I will lead you down the yellow brick road of lyricism and wittiness and poetry. Okay, bye.
Keep it going for Ryan Flanagan. All right, we have some more poetry coming up next. This is Melanie. Oh, there she is.
I was only going to get up here and do one poem, but I think a second one will work. I'm Melanie, and I have a few addictions, and I have 28 years clean of alcohol, 5 years clean of porn and sex addiction, 2 years clean of sugar and food addiction. And Sunday I'll get a chip for 9 years clean of drug addiction. And it's amazing. It's amazing. So I'm going to read, the first poem I'm going to read is called My Identity. I do know who I am from a vulnerable place in my heart. I just keep it guarded out of fear. But perfect love casts out fear. I have made many mistakes in my life from which I am grieved about. But God loves me anyway and guards me from making them again. I am his workmanship that is created for good works, with the unique ability to be expressive with all that I am. And I love that so much. The old things have passed away, and the new things have been made new. When I am struggling with the things people say, from a lack of knowledge of what I've come through, I don't have a need to be shaken anymore. God has begun a good work in me, and I trust in what God is doing in and through me. Not in what people say I should be doing or where I should be by now. Whatever thoughts people have towards me are none of my business, but I know God's thoughts are about me are precious, and as countless as the stars I see up in heaven. I see them because he is the lifter of my head. As God dances over me, and I will dance right along with him, I will do it without shame, because he set me free with all his love poured over me. And I do sign language, so I'm a little expressive, so. Okay, and the second one is called The Coin We Hold. Y'all probably know about desire chips a little, so this is a count of that. If we find ourselves stumbling our way into one of the many rooms where freedom might be found, we might be handed a little coin. It is silver and small, light enough to rest in the palm of your hand, but weighty enough to stir your heart. We shove it deep in our pocket, but when we walk out, it's the one thing that we can't let go of. We hold it tight, desperate, because in that room you heard a voice, voices of those who have walked out of darkness into light, voices of those who have found freedom. And in their words, you caught a glimpse of hope. You ask quietly, can I do it too? They call it a desire chip. One person laughed softly and said, no more handcuffs. Yes, that's it. The longing in my chest says it too. I desire to no longer live bound. I desire to live free. And then something deeper whispers, this coin is more than a symbol. It reminds me of a story. A woman once lost a single silver coin. She turned her house upside down to find it. When she did, she called all her friends and neighbors, and they rejoiced with her because what was lost was found. You see, it was never about that coin. It was about the value it carried and the love that refuses to stop searching. Friends, you are that coin. You are worth searching for, worth finding, worth celebrating. Even if you've been shoved into deep, dark corners or deep pockets, You are still silver in the palm of God's hands. No more handcuffs, no more chains, just the journey home to freedom and the joy of being found by the unstoppable.
Keep it going for Melanie. All right, quick check. I think these next two people are not here. Carl, are you here? I didn't think I saw Carl. And I don't know if this is Javi or Javi with some poetry. No? Okay, well, let's get on to the next one. We got some more music then coming up. The Lone Wolf. Where are we at? The Lone Wolf.
Switch to comedy.
Switch to the comedy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Woo. All right. Well, you thought I was going to sing, didn't you? But no, I switched it over to comedy. So I went over and went to talk to a bunch of 11th graders. And the first thing when I walked into that high school, I smelled the air, and it smelled like Axe body spray and bad decisions. And everybody remembers those old high school days, full of bad decisions that we made. One of mine, or first let me introduce myself. My name is Jesse. I'm a 5-month clean alcoholic. And so it was me, my best friend Alex, and my buddy Sergio and Seth. And we were probably maybe 12 years old at the time, and out past curfew over in Federal Heights. And my buddy Alex, he had an ounce of weed on him, and I had a couple grams of coke. And Sergio was carrying the shrooms while he was thinking he was in a Ferrari all the time. And so we were just walking down the street, and then we see the police officer drive past us, and Sergio's just tripping and going like, "Man, just get in my Ferrari, let's go." I'm like, "Bro, you don't got a car." And as soon as I said that, the cop, all you hear is, and we book it. And we book it into the field, high grass, and drop on the ground. And we see the cop light going like this. And as soon as the spotlight gets on Sergio, and he's a big dude, and then all I hear is, "Fuck this." And he gets up. As soon as he gets up, the cop light went, and I was still laying on the ground, going like, "Okay, shit." And so I get up and we start running again. And later down the road, we come to find out that Alex's grandfather used to be the mayor of Federal Heights. So we can imagine sneaking back into the house. And then him coming to see us going like, "Come in here." And Sergio's already stashed the shrooms in his back pocket. So while we're getting cuffed, and Sergio, he's on cloud 25 or something. And he goes like, "Don't forget about the weed." Officer comes directly over to Alex and myself. He goes, "Go ahead and hand it over." Looking at Sergio like, "This guy right here thinking he's in his Ferrari and we're getting cuffed together right now." And then, outside of that, you ever been so drunk you mistake egg rolls as chicken? You got to stay away from jungle juice. Jungle juice will get you in trouble, especially when you eat the fruit not knowing that is 99% alcohol right there. So I'm playing beer pong with jungle juice, nailing shots, thinking it's not hitting me. It's like, I'm fine. My buddy's going like, "You need to slow down." I'm just going to town. And then it comes down to walking up the stairs. Walking up the stairs was perfectly fine, and then the world starts to turn around you and you start to feel the motions. And you trip going upstairs. And then you start to say you're hungry, so you're too drunk to find out that, I really want some food right now. And so they sit me down in this chair. Keep in mind, I'm already gone at this point. So they sit me down and tie me down to the chair, and his grandma comes and feeds me egg rolls. And as she's feeding me egg rolls, I'm going like, that's good chicken right there. Lord have mercy. So you mistake egg rolls as chicken. Not even sure how that's in the same food group. But growing up later, out of high school, I'm still making bad decisions. You ever have court the next day after a 3-day bender of drinking? That's how I did coke for the first time. So I'm getting ready out of court in the next 10 minutes, just waking up. And you know how you say if your friend would jump off the cliff, would you jump with him? Yeah. So he hands me a little bag of white stuff. I was like, what is this, crushed up Smarties or what? So I'm thinking to myself, going like, well, I got court. I do need to sober up fast. I do got to find energy to go take a shower, comb my hair, get dressed. Because who am I going to walk into the courtroom looking like it smelled like alcohol? So short time later, I do my first line of coke. And then the judge calls me up. I walk into the courtroom, sit down, judge calls me up. By that time, I'm already fidgeting. And sitting there fidgeting, come to find out that I'm going to jail. And not because I pleaded guilty, but because the judge was wondering why I was singing, whoa, Black Betty, bam, bam, whoa, Black Betty. But that was me. It's Jesse. You guys have a good night. Thank you so much.
Keep it going for the lone wolf.
Got to.
All right, let's keep this going. You want some more comedy? Ben, is Ben in the house? Come on up here.
Give it up for our hosts, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if this is a 10th step, but I gotta tell on myself. I have a resentment. It's towards this guy right here. I threw away a really rather large adult apparatus. And it was attached to a cord. It's a dildo, sir. It's a giant, huge dildo. It wasn't mine. She knows where this is going, maybe, we'll see. It wasn't mine. That's why I got scared. I threw it away. On large item pickup day, it was like a mattress and like maybe still a coffee table, like 10 bags, and then like one that I just stuffed other things inside of it. Because you can't just like have like a giant. Sorry, I know how you feel about this. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm trying to say? I don't know if people at home have children. I had this apparatus because I started, in my sobriety, I started getting squirrely with my money. Where is this going? And so I started flipping storage units. And I found this in a storage unit, and I got scared a little bit, and I was just like, I'll just throw it away. And I went to a different storage facility. I won a different auction, and I was actually asking for advice. I told the guy what happened. And he's like, you threw it away? I was like, yeah, it wasn't mine. What am I going to do with it? He's like, you sell it. Just like as serious as that, like as serious as you possibly, you sell that. It's like, where? I can't just put this on Facebook Marketplace. And he's like, oh, there's sites. Here in Colorado, there's a scene. It was attached. He's like, was it attached to a cord? So I literally threw away $500. Yeah, that's how exactly. We've all done that in some way or another. But I started thinking about it. I was like, it's so strange. Like, this was somebody's life. And I think it's so interesting the things we hold on so tight to that just become irrelevant, you know? I think they missed it. I don't know. But I was thinking about it. I was like, why am I assuming what this person's life is like? Why am I assuming that they're a bad person just because they have a giant attached to a cord apparatus? Because how many times in my life did I drink because of shame? How much of my life became burdened down by truths that were never real, assumptions that I made towards others, towards myself. And I drank. And I think the biggest thing is I tried to take those pieces of myself I hated and I tried to throw them away on large item pickup day next to the mattress. But you can't do that, can you? What does the big book say? We will not regret the past, but we will not shut the door on it. I think like this population liked it, and then like everyone down the middle, we got a little scared. You don't know, like people in recovery, you know, it's like you don't know what they were taking before, and they could be off their meds. I'm gonna go. Got a cord. But how many times did we do that? How many times? It was when I accepted that. It's when I did step 4, 5, and 6. Now I'm on 7. It's okay, you don't need to clap. Clap, somebody has a few years of sobriety. No. This is for you all, because it's what I've learned. I've done steps 4, 5, 6, and going on 7, and I feel so much more free. Because I'm not letting go of that past. I'm holding on to it and I'm growing from it. And I can let it go knowing that I don't got to throw it away, right? And I just hope that's what we can all do in this community, you know? I did ask him how he cleans it. He was so, what? But he's with vinegar. You just need a big old jug. No, he looked me straight in the eye and he's like, oh, dishwasher. Get some special soap on Amazon and you put it in the dishwasher. And it was at that moment in my life I said, thank God I don't own a dishwasher. Because like maybe I'd have a different hobby. Thank you guys so much. I'm Ben Michaels.
keep it going for Ben. Maybe it's. All right, let's keep this going. We got a few more to get through here. Is there a Joseph out there to do some comedy? Okay, I'll just do another 6 minutes then. No, I'm just kidding. All right, Dakota. Come on up.
Okay, I was gonna sing. Ooh. I've never been on stage. Okay. Fuck. Oop, language. So I wrote this song. I was not gonna sing it, but I felt like if I give it like a little backstory and just read it as a poem, same thing. So when I got sober this time, I have a year and 3 months clean this time go around. But I got out of rehab, you know, didn't listen to my sponsors, started dating this girl, got her pregnant, had a miscarriage, and I don't know why you're laughing, that wasn't a joke, but I'll take it. And then like a month ago, I lost her to an overdose, so I wrote a song to cope with this bullshit drug addiction we all struggle with, right? I don't know about you, but I was not a very good person while using, and I still beat myself up to like, you know, when things don't go my way or I feel like I'm responsible in any way towards it. So this is kind of how I felt after finding out. Whew. Okay. Who said that? You walk out the door. So it's called "I Let You Slip Away." We talked about names for a child we'd raise, little dreams in the sunlight, brighter days. But when the heartbeat faded, your soul just turned gray. Like a coward, I ran. I just walked away. You begged me to hold on. I drank instead. The bottle being my comfort while you bled. I built my wall, shut you out in cold. Watched your heart shattered, but I never took hold. Now you're 6 feet deep, and it's my fault too. I was distant, I was cold, and I abandoned you. One overdose later, and I'm choking in shame. Your blood on my hands, can't wash the stain away. I let you slip away. God, I let you slip away. The night you died, I cursed my own name. Your mama's tears burned like acid in the flames. Empty pill bottles still haunt my dreams, and silence was louder than your screams. The preacher preached mercy, but I felt rage. Punched my own bloody fist on your grave. Phones. If there's a hell, I'm already there, 'cause I let you drown in your own despair. Now you're 6 feet deep, and it's my fault too. I was distant, I was cold, and I abandoned you. One overdose later, and I'm choking in shame. Your blood is on my hands, and I can't wash off the stain. I let you slip away. This ain't fate, this is me. I'm the one to blame. I turned my back, lit the match, and let it go to flame. Coward, bastard, look what I've done. Buried my girl and my unborn son. I should have fought harder, should have stayed strong, but I left you dying while I carried on. No excuses, no lies, just a grave in the ground. Fuck. Screaming your name, but you're not around. I spit in the mirror because I'm ashamed of what I see. A man who killed love with his apathy. Every love, every I said echoed louder than the night you dropped dead. I'm not crying, you're crying. Let's just get this straight. Now you're 6 feet deep, and it's my fault too. I was distant, I was cold, and I abandoned you. One overdose later, I was drowning in blame. Your blood on my hands, I can't wash off the stains. I let you slip away. No redemption, no mercy, no prayer I can say. Just a hollow ghost where my soul decayed. You're gone, but the truth eats me every day, and I let you slip away. But I've noticed, like, ooh, fuck. I don't know. I just like I felt like when I got sober this time, I didn't think I was ever gonna do something like this. I thought it was all stupid, but I don't know. I was talking to my sponsor the other day, and I just moved out of like a program. I moved into my own place today. It's I don't know. I feel like I still need to do my 10-step because I'm beating myself up right now for even performing. But I don't know. I just feel like I couldn't do and process emotions if it wasn't for people in AA, CA, you know, places like Free to give us a chance to like come up and cry like a little baby on stage. But I was gonna do comedy. I should have just done that because I wouldn't have been crying. But I just want to thank everybody for giving me a chance to at least try poetry. I know it didn't rhyme, so I'm not Dr. Seuss. I'm sorry. You got the best what you got. I'm Dakota. Thank you.
All right, let's keep this going. We've got, I think this is poetry. Oh no, mandolin, if I understand correctly. Zen Sun. Zen Sun? Did he? Okay. Let's see who we got next then. Edward with some poetry. Come on up, Edward.
Hello, how are y'all? I'm Edward, and I'm a 5-time recovering addict. This is my 5th time, and this is a poem, but it's actually a song I wrote, but I don't sing, but I'm gonna read it for y'all. It's called The Gemini's Call. From dusk we rose, divided flame, 2 voices cursed, yet called by name. One sought ruin, one reached for the sky, but mercy heard their unified cry. I wear the mask of shadows stitched in sin, a grin that splits like serpent skin. I scorn the dawn, I scald the day. I grind his hope beneath my clay. He builds with trembling hands of grace. I craft the storm to mock his faith. His prayers are nails, I pull them loose. What he would crown, I turn to noose. I am the voice that silences peace, the whisper behind every sweet release. Let him beg, let him bleed, let him fast and kneel. I feast on wounds he thought would heal. Yet still I rise from ashes bruised, a temple cracked but not refused. I seen the void behind my eyes, but deeper still, a hand that writes. I walk through nights where hope retreats, but grace still echoes in defeat. And though he claws at every beam, I dream in tongues the angels dream. The voice of God, it haunts him too, even when he hides the truth. For I have called the name of light that split the dark and dressed me white. Your broken glass and holy hands just shatter once, it all disbands. Then let me bleed upon the stone. I never fight this war alone. I'll burn the bridge, I'll drown the flame. Then I'll walk water in his name. I'm a Gemini calling, a fracture in time, 2 voices divided, one reaching divine. One raged for ruin, one begged for the cross, but the blood was enough to redeem what was lost. Now we're no longer broken, no longer opposed. What mercy has entered, no darkness can grow. I cried from within me, he answered it all, and both of us stood when he answered the call. I etched my name in every scar, my laughter bled through every bar. I fed him lies like sacred bread, I kept him numb, I kept him dead. But still he fought with eyes so wild, as if his soul was still God's child. I tried to choke the light he sought, but shadows loose when grace is caught. My voice was hoarse, my knees were torn, my spirit cursed, my garments worn. I reached through sin with trembling breath and cried his name to conquer death. Jesus, I don't know who I am, but you do, you always have. The cell fell silent, the war grew still, 2 hearts collapsed beneath his will, not destroyed but crucified and raised anew, unified, no longer torn, no longer flame, one spirit restored, one holy name. Where once stood 2, now stands just one, a son reborn by the risen Son. We were fractured, we were chained, but his blood rewrote our name. A Gemini healed from within the fall, forever united through mercy's call. Two voices stilled the storm at peace. Redeemed in full, released, released. No war remains, no night to crawl, for he answered the cry of the Gemini's call.
Keep it going for Edward. All right, we've got one more performer for the evening. A little more poetry going on. Give it up for Weston.
Good evening, everybody. I was not planning to perform tonight, and then throughout all the poetry and everyone who's performing, it was Michael with his violin. I was like, I got to get up here. I wrote these back in July from the Sober Open Mic 4 months ago, and I've just had this perfectionist mentality, and I was like, I got to finish it, but it's not finished, and it's as finished as it will ever be. So here we go. Feed, a poem. This hand-spun shake and its deterioration breaks. This allergy to dairy, why is nourishment scary? I feed my body, I do my best. How will I complete the daily test? I'm safe at these food troughs, I resist the breadline. While I no longer cough, to my body I still lie. It's no longer purgatory, and I'm still not free. These vicious cycles, how must I feed? I can't escape when my mind's awake. Like I said before, its deterioration breaks. When I read or write, it brings me joy. Why must I rot from this everyday toy? It connects and builds, so where is my thrill? Many of us have this, many of us wish we don't. This everyday toy, how do we stay afloat? It tears me down, and I know it does. Why can't life be like what it once was? I remember a time when the feed ended on Vine. I was so young then, I thought we'd have time. You're dead now, you've been dead for a decade. Intermittently pulling myself from hell, I remind myself of your face. I feed, I bleed, it's about time I start watering these seeds. Sobriety has sprouted into my dreams and lungs. The work is nowhere near done. And I have one more, and it's called Lord, Continue to Love. Fatherhood is in another million steps, yet I still love and am loved. To slow down isn't to delay progress. The cocoon shielded over me has just begun to hatch. I sit and order another banh mi. 4 years ago, your lips were pressed upon me. Sure, it's about time I get over it. Sometimes my empty heart feels like a bottomless pit. I loved you and didn't love myself. Therefore, I know my love killed its host. I'm better now, and maybe you'll never know. That's okay, because oh, the places you'll go. Thank you very much.
Keep it going for Weston. Y'all have a good time tonight? This open mic occurs on the fourth Thursday of every other month. The next one will be on January 22nd, so come back and see that. But more importantly, December 11th, coming up quickly. Come out for Ha Ha Holidays. It's going to be a great show. And a shameless plug for me, on February 5th, Second Chance Comedy will actually be on this stage, so keep an eye out for that one. We're going to start getting that one marketing going soon. Thank you all so much. Anything else I need to say? We're good? All right. Have a wonderful evening.